Hello, everybody. This is another episode. Um, I had to invite one of my family members, my sister, my big sister. I love her so much. Her name is, let me know your name.
Pammy Pam.
And I also got a good friend I grew up with her. I love her like a sister. She calls me brother. I call her sister. Introduce yourself.
Cammy Cam.
You just love it, don't we?
Thank you for coming. And this podcast shows are going to be about unhealthy relationships. This is a topic that they wanted to talk about. You say you want to talk about unhealthy relationship with black men or in general?
Well, in general, but more so, I like to stay focused on our kind in general because I have never dated a white man or anyone outside of my culture.
Never?
No.
But you don't find them attractive?
No, I just know that culturally we're different, and I wouldn't want to conform to their adage of how a woman should be. And then deep down inside, they don't really they're just curious about me. They're not really they wouldn't understand me. They don't understand my culture.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I don't knock it for others, but it's just not for me.
So you think if you date a white guy, it'd be unhealthy?
No, I don't think it would be unhealthy. It just would be unhealthy for me.
But, okay. What about you? Would you date a white man? I think you would.
I'm open to.
Yeah, I figured. My sister was always
open to-
different. She hung up in the hat in the early days.
Not necessarily. I'm open to individuals. I'm more attracted to the individual person than I am to the race. I do feel like if I had to choose between the two, I would definitely go with my own race because there's so much I need to learn about myself. And there's things within a relationship that I think I can learn a lot more from a person who look like me.
So let me ask you, name something that could be classified as unhealthy in relationships.
Okay. I have several things that I can name. Well, in a relationship where someone's lack communication, empathy, because there is a pyramid of needs. And on that pyramid, the hierarchy is you have to have nurturing. And sometimes relationships, on both sides. There's no, hi, honey, how was your day? Hugs and kisses. Just come in, see each other, go wash your hands, get to cooking. There's no intimacy. And everybody thinks intimacy is hugging, kissing, and in the bed. But intimacy is sometimes you sitting next to each other on the couch, you're holding each other's hands while you're driving.
So small conversations.
Conversations, we're just there. And it's more of, I think people are thinking that they are in love because they love what the woman or the man is doing for them, the way the man makes them feel in the bedroom, the way the woman is, if she's performing fellatio, stuff like that. It's not, they forget about the big picture.
So that's after a long period of time of relationship. I'm sure that's not in the beginning.
No, there's I know some friends, I'm not going to say no names, but I know men who I hear conversations, and I had 6 brothers. I listen. Yo, she sucked the meat off of me and whatever, and they're just open. So they make this person, and now they begin to like her over a period of time of her coming around. But what he failed to do was make sure that she keeps a clean house, see what type of mother she is. And he can't see these things until they're actually together. But if you're just coming to each other's house, seeing each other, he could hurry up and clean up his house real quick. Mm-hmm. She's on her way, and vice versa. So at the end of the day, but when you start living with someone, you start seeing things, you start saying, oh, damn, I didn't know this was going on. So that's how that happens. So a lot of times men get together with women, and they don't really know the woman. And that's where the issues come from.
And I agree with you with that. When you talk about needs, that is very important. And a lot of times, we say we want things and we need things, but sometimes we don't really know what that need is. And also when it comes to love, sometimes it's important to know what your own love language is, right? Hello. And a lot of people don't even know their love language.
I've been hearing that love language in the last couple of months on social media. What's my love language? What's my love language?
Well, let me just say this. When you are in a relationship with someone, do you really know their favorite color? I'm saying, how well do you know this person?
It depends on what your interest level is. Are you interested in knowing what their favorite color is or what they like to eat?
Because you know what? When I meet a guy, if I know, I can pretty much know, within 5 minutes. If I know, yeah, I'm going to go on a date with him. I like him. And then, it starts off, okay, he looks good. I don't really care about looks. Because I've dated some guys that
It wasn't the best of looks.
my family's be like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, he's a nice guy, though. So, I look at little character traits. But what I'm saying is that once I start seeing, I'm like, he came with his representative. Because this is not who he really is.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't, my thing is, don't choose my relationship for me. Let me know that you're a liar. And nobody's really doing that.
No
But
one's
you know what I do? I tell people up front, I have OCD. I give them all of the ugly. So when you get with me and you sit there and say, oh, I told you these things. So when we at a restaurant, you shouldn't be surprised that I'm complaining. That this is not good enough for me because you were told from day one. When we was on the phone bonding, over a period of time, I'm giving you a little bit about me.
Well, nobody do that no more. I don't think people do that no more. People don't be honest in the beginning no more.
I'm not saying, listen, nobody's really going to say, look, I'm a liar, I like to sleep around. Nobody's really going to do that.
Right.
And so it will be my responsibility to pay attention. And when I see the signs, why am I ignoring them, is my point. Once I see that a guy can only get his phone calls after a certain time, I already know what time it is.
Red flag?
That's a major red flag. Why is it that I can only call you after 10 o'clock? Obviously, she's leaving.
What about work? What about if he's at work?
Okay, if he's at work, but if it's a pattern, if it's a pattern, then
Patterns
something's
of
wrong.
behaviors.
Then
yeah.
something is wrong. So
Now,
I have a decision
I
to
have a
make.
question to you. When you see those kinds of patterns, are you asking questions at that point
Mm-hmm.
of the person you're in a relationship with?
Although I already know, I will ask the question because I do give the person the
What you mean you
benefit of
already
the doubt.
know? You assuming. If you don't ask, if you don't, you assuming.
Yes, I am good. You know why I'm going to assume? Because 9 times out of 10, when you saw me, you approached me because you was interested in me. I didn't approach you. So you're now coming into...
That I remember that goes to my previous show. So you don't approach guys?
I've never done it. I mean, I'm going to tell you why. Well, I guess if you approach a man, sometimes when you give them the eye, you let them know yeah, I'm interested too. But to verbally, I wouldn't know what to say. That's one. Second,
Hello, how you doing?
I'm a Muslim. I was raised a different way. So my way of
Hello, who?
life, I said I am a Muslim. So
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not supposed to be in approaching strange men. So the way I grew up was all wrong, and that was on me because I knew better. But so for me to walk up to a man and just be like, "How you doing?" I don't know. That could be somebody's husband. I'm not supposed to do that.
That could be this, but that somebody approaching you could also be somebody's husband.
100%. But now he approaching me. He's opening up the door for me to say, "Are you married?" I'm not gonna just walk up to some man and speak to him because I'm not supposed to do that. But if a man speaks to me, I give him the respect to speak back. And now he's opening up the door, and I could pretty much look. And if whatever, if you don't have a ring on, it doesn't matter. There's a lot of people who's married that doesn't wear their
100%.
ring.
That is definitely true.
But it is that man's responsibility not to approach me. He knows he has a wife. I'm the one in the dark. I'm not a psychic. So, and I've had a situation like that where I've dated a guy and I found out he was married, and the wife came to my college.
and you
Excuse me?
found out that way.
How do you find out?
She found out about me. Thankfully,
They was living together?
yes, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. He did not have a pattern. You get it? He didn't have a pattern.
Was living together? They was living together?
I don't know at the point of, I think they were separated, but they were still married.
okay.
And I don't care if you're separated, you're still married. If y'all still in the bed at some point, that's still your husband, that's still your wife. Make a long story short, he was always hanging out with me, and I started feeling him, because in the beginning I didn't really like him. I thought he was too cocky, he was over the top with it. Long story short, we went out. I said, oh, tonight is the night. I'm ready.
Like tonight-
Thank Allah, he stepped in. It didn't happen.
Right.
Because he got a phone call, something with his mother. He asked me to take him to his car, whatever, which I did. And, no. He took me to my car. Let me get it right. He took me to my car, and then he left. He called me that night. He was very attentive, so I wouldn't think he was
twice.
married. And we was in the same college.
Oh, wow.
That's how we met. I was in the same college, and he used to see me and talking to me. Long story short, I don't know how his wife, because I never sent him pictures. She had my phone number, so she called me one time. I was getting these calls, person hanging up on the phone or whatever, so I said, dang, somebody playing on my phone. Anywho, 2 days later, this woman's at the college, and she's on the second floor, and she's asking people, do you know a Puerto Rican girl named Cammy? So everybody's like, oh, I didn't know she was Puerto Rican, but she's in that class. So she comes into the class as I'm coming out, because I'm on break, my 15-minute break, and she says, are you Cammy? I says, yes, and you are? She said, I'm Renee. I said, okay, what do you want with me? She said, you and my husband. I said, excuse you? I said, first of all, who's your husband? Because I'm thinking about my kid's father. And we not even together, but I'm thinking she's talking about him. So I want to know who you're talking about. She says, Kirby. I said, first of all, I'm not him, and he's not married. She was like, oh, yes, he is. She showed me all this stuff, these text messages.
How long y'all was dealing with each other?
I was talking to her like 3-4 months.
Wow. And you know he was married in 3-4 months?
He was never with her. He took me to South Carolina to drive down there to meet his mother. How am I supposed to think he's married if you have all this time to be with me?
No, I get it.
He
So,
was doing the most.
She said that they were separated, and the
3
reason
months
why-
and nothing happened?
it was actually a little over that. 'Cause-
And nothing happened?
well, what was supposed to happen? We have to get to know each other first. You
No,
don't
I'm
just
just-
jump in the bed with somebody.
There's nothing wrong with that.
My husband can tell you. I told him we
No.
were going to do a rapid HIV. We're going to do all this.
No, I get that. I get
You
that.
ain't going to be sitting here forging documents or somebody's name. And
But 3 months is a long time to wait.
it's not a long time. Trust me, that's not a long time. You know, you could meet somebody today and jump into bed with them. And then what? That's being nasty. I don't know.
I agree.
nothing
No,
about-
I agree. I
Your
agree.
name is Just, but what's your government
Right.
name?
Absolutely.
No, the next day is that definitely nasty.
Okay, so
But 3 months to me is a long time.
listen, I don't put a time, but I'm not jumping in bed with nobody no month. That's not enough for me to get to know you to see if you are decent enough to be in my presence any longer. I
What
don't
about
do
if
that.
what about if y'all spend every day together?
We were spending every day together.
No,
like
but
that.
I'm talking about a month. Every day for some reason y'all rode across the street. Every time you get off work, you go and I'm talking about
He
a
was
solid month.
taking me. Listen, we was in the same.
No, I'm not talking about him per se, just in general.
Just in general.
You know, let's say the guy's not married. You feeling him?
I've had an experience before.
I think it's a month is enough.
and it was like the biggest mistake of my life.
I'm not gonna ask my sister because I don't want to know if she was the
It
thought
was like
or
the
something like
biggest
that.
mistake
So,
of my life.
I'm not gonna ask my sister that.
I had an experience with a guy that I liked, thought he liked me. And this is how I know that men can be like Satan.
Men could be what?
Like Satan.
The devil.
Treachery. Just tricky.
Some men, not all men.
Listen.
My
Some
man that was on the show last time,
I'm
you
not
should have
gonna
heard
say
him.
all.
Jay.
He
This
was
guy
a good
named
guy.
Jay. Oh my God, good guy. Good guy.
Anywho.
Stand up.
Stand up. So if you met Jay, you probably give it to him in a month.
Let's get back to the Kirby story.
Okay.
So now, her and I going back and forth. And I said, listen, I'm a woman.
Come close, a little closer.
I said, listen, I'm a woman first, and this is what I need for you to do. First of all, I need for you to calm down. I said, there's a lot of people, you bringing too much attention, and I don't like that. I said, could we go to my car, and we could talk about this? She still wanted to go. I walked away. Because one thing about me, I'm not going to do that ghetto crap. You're not going to come making no noise, disrupting my
College
peace.
campus.
So I walked away. She started following me with the. I said, you know what? I'm going to call the cops. I'm not going to put my hands on her because I could have gotten ghetto with her and did that. But I've grown out of that. And this was years ago when I was in school. This is 2011.
You snitching?
No, I wanted her to feel something. What she was doing to me, she needed to pay for it. Oh, I'm real big on that. I will be in my car and will call the police and say, I'm in fear for my life.
Police.
You're not going to come and bother me. So when she did that, I said, you know what? I was going to do it. I was like, I'm going to call the cops and have her arrested. She needs to learn. I asked her to step away from me, get out my face. She keeps going. You should be screaming at your husband. You saw text messages, whatever. I didn't know about you. And if once I told you that, whether you believe me or not, he said I do to you. I did not. I didn't say I do. I cherish you. I don't know you. And if I did know that y'all were married, I would. Am I supposed to care? I care about me.
Let me ask you a question. Was they still living together? They couldn't have been living together.
No, they were. I said they were separated. I guess he was staying with a friend. That's how I met him. But from time to time, because she was showing me, if you let me get to that, the text messages reflected that they were still sleeping with each other at some point. So that's what let me know. And after that, he
were
never
done.
heard from me again. I didn't call him. He kept calling. I don't owe you no explanation. You didn't explain. You didn't owe me an explanation. Did you tell me you was married and you was trying to play both sides? So why should I answer your calls and tell you why you
I
were
agree
no
with
longer
you.
hear from me
I agree,
again?
I agree with you.
Absolutely.
But if he'd have told you,
Totally cut it.
what happens if he'd have told you in the beginning?
Then we would have never been. I don't mess with no married people.
Right.
My mother was a
Separated.
married woman to my father, and I watched my father cheat on my mother, who was very married.
Separated.
I would never do that.
Separated is no good.
Excuse me?
Separated. If he was separated, but
No.
what about if he got divorced? Then it's then,
Separation does, let me explain to you about separation. The point of being separated is to see if y'all will get back together. And after, that's why they give you a time span to be separated. After that time span has expired, you can now get a divorce. Did you not know that?
And most people don't exercise
My
their rights
point.
to get a divorce.
And some people
because
stay.
it's cheaper. Yeah.
It's
What's
cheaper
cheaper?
to keep her.
To stay separated than it is to file for a legal divorce, because if there's assets involved and there's children involved, child support involved, a lot of times people don't want to go through.
Hello, hi, and good night.
Yes.
Sis here just told you all. That's exactly what I'm saying, yes.
I was never married.
And now, look at the DMX situation. Did you see that situation with DMX?
I'm not up on current events. Explain to me what's going on.
Well, I wasn't really either, but, you know, on Facebook, I saw how the fiance, they was like common law married, right?
It's a law.
And Tashira gets everything
Who's
because
that?
his first wife.
Oh.
The second one, see, this is the law here in New York as well. You know that the first wife, although you've been divorced, she gets all the benefits.
As she should.
Okay, but the second wife gets only a portion of the benefits.
Don't they do the same thing with kids though?
With child support, yeah.
Yeah.
A certain percentage.
Yeah, I mean that's how the law works.
So why would I want to be with a man that I would not reap any benefits from if he dies?
Oh, wow.
What is the point?
Wow.
Listen,
That's a different
to
way
be
to
in a relationship, to be in whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, where you verbally commit, or if you have a piece of paper where you go and you get married, that is still a commitment. And if we're not going to follow through with the commitment, what is the point of making a commitment?
So you're saying you're not going to be with somebody if he's married or been married already because God forbid something happens to him? You won't.
No, I'm saying that most people don't get married just because they're in love. They get married because there's benefits. When you go to a job, you're picking and choosing if you want this job because of the benefits, correct? Because it has to serve a purpose to you
No,
as well.
I agree with you, but I think people marry for love. Not for. I mean, if I were married, I'm not.
I don't know what land he in. It's not just for love.
Did you marry for benefits?
No.
I definitely
it's not
married
just
for
benefits.
love back then. If I would choose to remarry again, it would be for more than just love, I would have to say.
Of course.
Because I come to the table, I bring things to the table as well. So,
Jay, you agree with that?
yeah.
Nah, I don't. But actually, I said
Listen,
There's a lot of things that I heard so far that I'm like, ooh.
it's
Yeah,
this is what I'm gonna say. When you are married, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have two pensions, let's say. You have very good benefits.
Which I do.
Right. Then you get with a woman, and she has some child support issues. And now they're garnishing your benefits.
That's wrong.
For this.
That's wrong.
But it happens legally.
Yeah, no,
They
I
have every
know.
right to go after you.
So my point
Your
is,
benefits because you married this.
when you are choosing to marry someone, the same way you're choosing a job, like if you have a choice, you're looking for a job that, because you don't want to just be working for nothing. You want to make sure you have a good retirement, a good medical, dental, vision. You want to make sure you have all these things because you are servicing this company. And at some point, you are going to grow old. You may get sick. You need to make sure that there's sick leave, paid time off, sick days, all these things.
So do you go in a relationship thinking about love and benefits?
No, it starts out because of like, and then it becomes love. And then you start to look at the future.
I
But
think
what
that's
if this
I
man
think
dies?
I
I
think
need
that's
to have an
backwards.
ins-
I believe it's backwards. No, I believe it's back. Because
You have to think about the future.
so
He can-
should not do it in the beginning then? Think about the benefits
That's
before I start
only-
loving you?
No, that's only if you are going to be together for longevity. I am not gonna, if I'm gonna, first of all, you can't predict how long you're gonna be with someone, that's one. That is the coulda of a law, that's one. Secondly, you cannot predict if you're going to marry, if the person's gonna marry you. You cannot predict any of that. When you get married, I'm talking about married people now. When you get married, you need to have insurance policies. You
100%,
need to have all
yes.
these things to
You're
cover
now
your
joined
family.
as one. You're seen as one.
So
now.
you get married, you don't just get married because you say I love, and then none of these things. I mean, you have to have all these things. You have to cover each other.
But
full
also
coverage.
in those relationships, when you choose to be married, if that person is coming in with baggage, you're coming in with that baggage for that person.
I want to expect someone to marry somebody with baggage. If I
It
meet a
happens
girl
all
and
the
she got,
time.
if I meet a girl and she got a lot of kids and she got financial issues,
I know
I'm not dealing with her.
somebody-
I'm
people
wrong
do
for
it
that?
all the
No, no, no,
time.
no, no, no. Hold on. Let me just say this. Because you can never know the truth about anyone. That's one. The only truth you know is the truth you see. You can never know anything about anyone. There could be a woman that you've met, she's from California. She could have been 600 pounds and had that weight loss surgery and all the fat removed in the skin, and she got this banging body now. You don't know those things about her because she came from a whole different town, right?
Yes.
You also don't know that she was in a psychiatric ward. You don't know any of these things. You just know she got a banging body, she looked good, she got a good job, she driving, no kids. You're like, oh, I hit the jackpot, right? Now you with her. She gives you her representative. You're with her for a whole year. You still like, y'all on a honeymoon stage. Yo, I'm open. Yeah, she did, she's that. And then year 2 comes, you start seeing things that you didn't see. But she's now comfortable to be herself, right? And now you're like, Dag, I had no idea. So, Dag, I don't get the home-cooked meals no more. I don't get the back rubs. That was never her. That was her hooking you. And that's what men do to us. So everybody gets hooked.
Well, don't say that. Don't say. I mean, that's what people do. Because female does that as well.
I agree with that. People do that.
It's not just men. Because females,
definitely.
they get
People in
their
general.
boobs done. They get the ass done.
Wait.
If you got your ass done, you're not gonna tell me oh yeah, this is not my ass. I bought this in
No.
DR.
People consist of men and women. There's
but you
no
said
other.
that.
So
Yeah,
that's
people.
what I mean. I
Okay.
said men or
People,
women.
yeah.
No,
people.
women. I think women
People,
My
represent
point-
and women.
way more.
Listen,
way
no.
more.
Women
way
just
more.
women. We know how to covet things better.
No, y'all not a
We
lot
know how
more.
to-
Y'all lie more because for me, for one,
Lie? If
yes,
somebody has
let me
a
tell
big
you.
No.
that's not a lie?
He's right about that. We lie more. Women lie with their hair, their eyelashes,
Oh my
their
God.
body.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
really a
Oh
lie?
my God.
We do.
Men don't jump on planes
No,
and get
but
their ass
wait.
done.
Time out. Men is on a bandwagon now. Y'all dyeing beards.
No.
Y'all
Okay,
getting-
then.
Y'all dyeing hair.
Wait, hold
women
on.
to jump on the plane and get their ass done and come back like we don't know they the fuck left with no ass.
Now, are they pretending
right.
like they didn't do it and it's theirs? Is that what you're saying? Because I don't know.
Wait a minute, you was flat chested yesterday, right? You go on vacation on the job, you come back, you got double D's. What the fuck that came from?
But is that a lie?
Yes, it is a lie. That is a fucking lie.
It is.
It is a lie.
I'm a woman.
I'm a woman too. I
But
mean,
it
I
is
don't
a
do
lie.
the fake or
So let me tell you why it's a lie.
Because you know it's not yours.
So let's say I'm a boob man.
Yeah, you're lying.
I'm a boob man.
Okay.
I love boobs.
Okay.
I meet a girl. Oh, she got some boobs. I find out 2 months later that shit was silicone.
You never asked her?
Why would I ask her?
I'm with him on that.
That's
That's her
wrong.
responsibility to tell him.
Tell me, yo, listen.
Hey,
Listen. The point of dating is we be going there. You tell me everything.
That's
I
how
need to know.
relationships become unhealthy because you start out lying.
Now, if you like, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I got penis enlargement, right? That's some shit. I never did that, Cammy. Don't look at me. But I'm saying these are the things you have to tell me on the dates. I'm paying for you, or you paying for. I'm spending time for me. I'm texting you. I'm calling you. I want to know these. I want to know these things. I want to know these ain't your teeth. I want to know these ain't your teeth. So at one point, when we go out to eat, you might have to take these bitches out.
I agree with him. Because I'll tell a guy in a minute, can you take off your hat? Because I need to know what the hair be like. No, I need to know what the hat looks like.
Yo, sir, listen. Isn't the point of dating? Listen, isn't the point of dating? Isn't the point of dating is to get to know
I
you?
don't want to have a child. I don't want no big head, cone head son.
yeah.
I need to know who's, no disrespect.
And
but
female lies.
You have
Female
to ask,
lies.
You have to ask who's handicapped
More.
in the family through birth. Not because of giving birth and they use the tool to damage the baby, but I need to know, like,
How many-
genetics.
how many-
I want to know who we're glad. You got to ask these questions. Don't.
That's why I try not to date females with kids.
Ooh, that's nasty work.
What?
But that's
You
what
have
I'm
a son.
saying.
That's nasty
No.
work.
When I'm saying, I mean kids. I mean when I'm saying little kids. I apologize.
Little small
You,
kids.
you push in a stroller. I don't want nothing to do with you.
No, listen. That's your preference. You have a right to have a preference.
You push in the stroller. Or you
God,
going?
if there was a guy, he had 4 and 5 different
Not
baby
doing
mothers.
it. Not doing
I'm
it.
sorry.
No.
No.
I'm not. Or
I
we can't
can't do
hang.
it.
We can't hang out because you can't find a
That's
babysitter.
too many personalities that I would have to deal with, and I refuse to do it. I don't have to. No, that's too much.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that.
Females have baby mama, baby father dramas, and man.
Y'all have baby mama drama too. It goes both ways. Remember, there's no one monolith of anything.
Right. And it's again with those standards that you're looking for when you enter relationships.
Bingo.
So that's
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
Come back.
You had a whole year, just like an engagement. You had a whole year to get to know this person to see if she meets your standards. If she has the qualities that you need, not want, but need. You require these things. And if you don't see that, then you have a decision to make. But you kept going.
Well, a lot of people do that though. People
That's-
people look
why-
past the
why
red.
is it, though?
People look
Why is
past the
that?
red flags.
Yeah.
I had a
Some
habit of
people
doing that.
some people have esteem issues. Some
Who?
people have
Self-esteem.
self-esteem issues. Yeah, and some people have a motive. People do things for different reasons. I can only speak for because I've been in situations where, and I stayed out of fear. I'm like, dang, I don't know if this person breath stink. You know, when you get comfortable with somebody who's clean, you be like, dang, I don't know if he's gonna be like the type that's gonna clean up the house, do the dishes, you know, throw me a few dollars on the table without me having to ask. You know, he's on top of his bills. You know, he take care of his children. Because that's how I decided to have my kids.
So when you say men has motive, what is their motives?
Well, it depends on their situation. I can't say.
Are you talking about? Are you referring to the sex?
Listen, let's be honest here. When a man first meets a woman, he is not thinking about getting to know her mind, to see how articulate she is, if she's a dancer. You want to get to know that.
Nah, I disagree. I'm not. I disagree.
Okay.
For me.
Well, that's for you.
It depends on the age group, I think. I think if you're in your 20s and 30s.
If
that's
you're
probably-
attractive,
I just walked into this building. There were two men on the corner. And instead of them saying hello to my face, they said hello to my backside. And as I turned around, he goes like this, you know, with your eyes real wide, like, and said, oh, you're a beautiful woman. I said, thank you. But he wasn't focused on me. He was looking at my bottom.
Okay.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
That's disrespectful and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
So men, it has nothing to do with age. It's all to do with the person. Some men are just naturally.
no. Sometimes you want to see the whole package before you speak.
But what I'm saying is, what is the but?
No. Honestly,
Does it-
because
what
because
if
now
he-
what happens if I'm a butt guy, right? And you know you might be cute, but I'm a butt guy, and you walk by, and you don't got the butt I want. So I should say hi first and then see your butt later, or wait till I see the butt.
mess.
No, I should wait till I see the butt first, and then say, okay, she meets my preference. Hello. I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. Preference. I mean, everybody have their preference.
Everybody have their preference, but what I'm saying is,
You
I
might
think
miss
it's-
out on a beautiful personality, and the whole package deal because she doesn't have the right butt. A physical bodies can
That is-
change.
you know what?
with
Physical is so like,
exercise
yeah,
and-
that-
and
Nah,
diet,
physical's
some
important.
squats. And
Why is
stuff
it
like that, all
important?
kinds of stuff.
why is physical important?
I got to be attracted to you in order for me to perform.
Okay, makes
I get
sense.
that.
Makes sense.
That part I get.
I can't perform if I'm not attracted to you.
Islamically, that's one of the attributes too, and you upkeep. So I get it. I just wanted to know why.
Yeah, and then that's that. I mean, for men, I mean, you got to be physically attractive. I don't
Women
think.
feel that way too, I think. I think women feel that way too. They like to have.
And you know what's crazy? We
physically
could, well, men do it too, because I've seen some men be with some women, and it's not to choose, because you can't. One thing about I don't do, if God created us all, I'm not going to be disrespecting his creation and saying,
Exactly.
oh, she got an ugly nose. oh, she-"
Right.
You disrespecting the law when you do that, because
Right.
the law created that woman. So, for whatever his reasons are, everybody has their own look. No one monolith. Everybody looks different. Nobody's equal. There's no unique, except for Allah.
So he shouldn't.
Everybody's
So
equal.
they shouldn't say something about that person's appearance. You think that's wrong? We all have our opinions.
No, I mean, you can speak about the appearance, but I'm saying is, think about it for a minute. Remember what we discussed earlier. Think about it for a minute. If Allah created us all, right? What are you saying to Allah? That he was wrong for creating that woman's face like that? That man's face like that?
I'm not dating no ugly women. I might speak about it.
You don't have to date them, but I'm saying we don't have to criticize it, is what I'm saying.
No, I mean I don't criticize, but I'm lying. I mean I sometimes.
Yeah, I know you lying.
I mean, Cam, we well, listen. But you did say, did you say you dated some not attractive men?
Right,
That's-
but I
isn't
didn't, hold on. I did not speak on what was not attractive. I did not speak on
Okay,
their attributes.
okay.
I just said,
Okay.
according to my family members, I obviously thought he was attractive, but too many. If you got more than one person saying the same thing, then 9 out of 10 is true. So, I mean,
So you didn't think they wasn't attractive?
I just thought that they had a perception problem. Like, this is my preference. What do you don't have to sleep with
Hold
him.
on.
You don't
But
see
maybe
that.
your preference is not attractive men.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying is who has to deal with that man?
No, but I want to talk about it. So let me ask you a question. So when you say you dated somebody, I'm curious. So when you dated somebody and
Trying to get up all up in my
no, preface. So when you dated somebody and he wasn't attractive, to you was he attractive?
Very much so. I liked the way he spoke to me.
No, I'm just talking about the looks.
The whole package.
No. I'm just talking about his appearance, his looks.
Oh, you're talking about his looks, his physical.
That's all. I'm only talking about the looks.
His looks wasn't what attracted me. I watched this guy. I liked the way he walked, I liked the way he spoke, I liked the way he dressed, I liked the way he carried himself. That's what made him attractive to me. See, that's what I'm saying. People are only looking at the physical. That's not the only thing that attracts things to people. Whatever you're looking at that makes you attracted to a female is your business. I'm saying his face did not make me say, I want to get to know him. It was his overall. It was his overall, like the way he walked, the way he talked, the way he dressed. He smelled good. He was always clean, and he was very, very
Oh,
very
you
healthy.
knew him prior to that.
No, I was watching him. We see each other all the time.
See, it makes a big difference because if you didn't was watching it, if you just happened to see him that one day, would
Like
you have?
that first impression.
But I don't judge people because I understand that people just got home from work. I can't say, oh, he got on raggedy clothes, that's who he is. He could have just came home from work. I wouldn't, if I work construction, I'm not wearing my good clothes. So I don't judge a book by its cover is what I'm trying to say. I don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure if you didn't see him on the way and you happened to see him the first time, you wouldn't have given me a number.
That's not true. You cannot say
Because
that.
attraction,
You cannot speak on something you know nothing about.
100%.
Okay.
100%. But the norm, I'm going to say the norm. Is it safe to say that? No.
Norm? Well, maybe I'm not in the norm. I'm not.
I agree with you 100%. I can't speak on what you thought at that particular moment. I'm only gonna speak on what I believe people do. If I see an ugly woman, that's it. I just seen an ugly woman. That's
And
it.
somebody else might think that woman you considered ugly is beautiful.
100%. No.
It's about preference.
And perception.
Yeah.
Maybe if I worked with her or I had, dealings with her, what I can say, and I can look past that. When on the first encounter, we had the bus stop or we had a club.
Did you hear what he said? He said, I can look past that.
Yes.
What I'm trying to tell you is there was nothing about this man that I had to look past. I found him attractive. No matter what his face looked like,
After a long period,
I didn't have to look past his
after,
face. I liked him.
No,
After watching him and seeing him.
yes, after a period of time.
But you said you have to look past it. What I'm trying to tell you is I never found him to be ugly in the first place
Okay.
to have to look past anything. That's other people's opinion of him, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
And I said when more than one person is saying it, it must be true because this is different people from different walks of life who say, oh, Cam, you could have did better than that. They're looking at his looks, but they're not looking at him overall. Are you kidding me? That's, first of all, I love my men talk. I love everything well done. But anywho, I would say things like,
You're talking about your husband now?
No.
Oh, you're going back. You're going back.
A lot of this.
I'm explaining to you why I said what I said, and that's why I don't judge a book by its cover, and I don't go off of looks.
Right.
Because
Did you have to learn to get to this point?
I'm gonna tell you why. No, I think I was always like that. Like I was always the one who looked at the person that everybody like ousted, like and I would look and see different. I don't know what it was, but that's spatial ability. I guess I don't know.
Right.
But and people would look at me and say, "What is she doing with him?" They didn't understand. I know more that they didn't know, so
Right.
that's why. But I don't fool you. I don't have to explain.
Right.
But what it was that I never had anybody so attentive. I would say things like,
How long ago was this, Max?
"Does not matter."
It does matter. Let me tell you, I ain't never see you post a picture with no ugly dude.
I didn't post pictures of me and a dude except for my husband. I think I did it one time and I took it down because I didn't.
I
really
seen
want
a
to-
picture of I don't know who he was, but this
Dawson
was.
guy?
Honestly, I
How many years ago was that?
It was a few years back.
Yeah, and then I think you saw it for a day or two, and I took it down.
I don't.
I was never the type to post pictures of me and a man. I was like,
Yeah, I don't like that either. Be honest with you.
Yeah.
Social, I don't like people
my
in my business.
husband has a picture of him, and he said he needs people to know that who my husband is. So that's why he's there, because he said I am too private for him.
You got pictures of your husband on there?
He's on my profile.
I don't know. Listen, honestly, I don't really.
When you click on my profile, you'll see the profile picture of him and I sitting down in a restaurant, and then you'll see me by myself.
I don't.
And it says, it has his name. I'm married to, and on his page, he's married to me.
Okay.
That's how he wants it, because he knows how social media is.
I think that's cute. No,
I don't know about it being cute, but it's respectful.
No, I wouldn't do it. I'm not a.
See, again, it's different when you're married. you know, and you're in a
You can't take advice from a single person.
relationship.
Yeah, no, but you did say, did you want to do it?
What?
Did you want to?
No, I said, right, but then I thought about it and I did do it because what am I being private for? There's
You're
no
married,
privacy.
yeah.
I'm a married woman now. I have to get used to, no, it's not just you anymore.
Mm-hmm.
See, when you're in a relationship with a guy, I don't really, because I don't know if he's going to be promised to me. And not even my husband is going to be promised to me, but we are married. It's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, his is mine, what's mine is his. We have shared everything. So, you get it?
Honestly, what you just said is, I believe is right. Sometimes it takes men a long time to realize it's not just him anymore.
Right. And I understand that. I understand that.
It takes some time to get used to.
And this is why I give people, they don't know it, but I give them a time. Like when we first get into a relationship, this is just how I do things. The person doesn't know that I'm doing this. Because I know, like, you're always going to have, like, a friend from the past, or you just broke up with somebody. You're going to have a little time.
You
With
need
this, the
that-
text messages
yeah.
still going and so I don't put any like
Pressure.
demands on nobody. I let them rock out. I understand how this goes. I still do me, meaning whatever it is I'm doing. I don't ask questions. All I ask is just you be respectful when you're in my presence. That is it. And when you decide that that is enough, this is what you want, then that will change the dynamics. Now my demands come because now we have committed to each other and said, okay, I want to be exclusive with you. Before that, I'm not assuming. I'm not going to assume just because.
So you'll date somebody who just got a relationship?
I have done that, what I'm saying, yes. I've dated
Most
somebody.
people are in relationships until they're no longer in a
Well, who
relationship.
hasn't?
They're in
Who hasn't?
transition
I mean,
from a relationship.
the point I'm trying to make is the problem is that people have unhealthy situations is because they have expectations. And if you don't go into something with an expectation, you can't get disappointed. You won't be disappointed.
Right.
You first of all, you have to understand, this man came from a broken home. I'm giving an example. This man came from a broken home, so he already has issues. You have a decision to make. You know he has these issues. You know he has a complex with these women, what they call it, Oedipus complex or whatever. So, excuse me, not that, where you are misogynist when it comes to women. So, because your mother wasn't a loving mother. So, and we all know that an unloved child is
Oh,
a
boy.
recipe for a bitter adult.
Yes.
Okay, can we understand that?
And a womanizer.
I don't,
a lot of
honestly, I don't
times, too.
any unloved. I wouldn't know.
Well, see, you don't know anyone who grew up with from foster care or, we grew up with a lot of people from Cyprus who we know who had parents who was on drugs, didn't have time to nurture their children, come home and cook for them, do homework. That is what I'm talking about. That's an unloved child. Your parent is out there getting high all day, and they don't know if you've done your homework. They don't know if you're passing to the next grade. You're just a latchkey kid. Where's the love? The mother don't know the father. So this daughter grows up. It can either make her or break her. She can go harder and say, you know what, I'm gonna get a PhD and I'm gonna do this, that, and the third, because she doesn't want to become a product of that environment. Or she can become and do the other thing. She can have 7 baby fathers and be on the government stuff and uneducated and be all over the place. It is a choice that they have to make. I understand when you're young, you're hurt, you don't understand. But when you become an adult, it's your responsibility to find some balance so that you can be healthy because you know what you've been through. So I don't make excuses, but I don't judge because I understand. What I'm saying is every time you meet a person, whether it's somebody that you grew up with, it could be me. You would never know unless I've told you or you've seen. You've never seen me around my parents. You don't know how I was brought up. So just because I walk the street and I look like I got it together don't mean I got it together. And that's the problem with people. They look at people and they just
Especially on
assume.
social media. I be seeing pictures. I'm like, I know you're not like that.
What?
I know you not like that.
Like what?
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking,
In
no,
general, in general.
no. I be seeing.
You know,
I be seeing a lot of people from this neighborhood, and I'm like, I just see you yesterday. You looked raggedy, but now today you look alright on this picture. You're not like this.
Do you know what? I tell people all the time, now we're going off the subject, but you can't take them filters outside. So stop using them.
Yeah.
Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself.
You know what I'm saying?
yourself.
Why you? What is up with that? You turn your head, your eyelashes on your side. I'm saying to myself, what is the point?
Yeah.
You
Well,
Anyway.
at first we talk about unhealthy relationships. And have you been in an unhealthy relationship?
Yes. Yes, I have.
What about you?
I've been in an unhealthy relationship before.
I explain it because you're my sister, and I don't remember you've been in a few relationships. So what unhealthy relationship you was in?
One relationship.
This is my big sister. So what relationship you was in?
Well, I mean, I will.
Close to the microphone.
I'll speak to talk about my relationship to my ex-husband.
Oh shit.
I was married for many, many years, and at some point within the relationship, it became very unhealthy. Unhealthy in that the communication was no longer there. My needs weren't being met, and neither was his needs at that time. And when you don't have communication, you lose communication in a relationship, everything else begins to fall.
100%.
When there are children involved, when there are assets involved, when there are property involved, and when you become an adult and you begin to grow apart from your relationship, it's very difficult to kind of get it back together without sometimes outside support. And because I've always been a private person, like you said yourself, like, where have you been? At some point, you know, you kind of like forgot about me to a certain degree because I was married, I was in school, I was working, and I was just doing my life and living my raising my family. I got lost within that. And sometimes you lose yourself because you're so involved in the relationship with your counterpart that you do lose a sense of yourself after a while. So I think that's what happened.
So if your needs not get met and his needs not get met, how do you fix that? 'Cause if your needs not get met, I'm sure you telling him that, right?
There was some form of communication.
And I'm sure he told you his needs was being met. His needs wasn't being met. What happened?
I don't know so much about if he was telling me as much as I was telling him. I don't think that he saw it as such a big issue as I saw it. You know, I have a mental health background, so I used to also read a lot about relationships and healthy relationships and the importance of communication. And because I would express that to him, in a way it was like, who are you? Who's this person? You weren't like this 10 years ago. When we were together, we were 17, 18. When we're 32 and 33, we're two different type of individuals. When we're in our 40s and we've been together for over 20 some odd years, we're just not the same people anymore. And if you don't continue to work on staying together and remaining together, the relationship can easily get lost. So in communicating that these needs weren't being met, I asked for an outside support through a professional for counseling. And that's why I asked you earlier before, do you believe in counseling in a relationship? And it got to a point where I was the only one in counseling because my counterpart didn't feel the need to show up for counseling. So I think me remaining in counseling is what led to our demise because I kept working on me, understanding the importance of who I was becoming and what my needs are and how they weren't being met and how it wasn't taken really seriously. So at some point, I realized that I had to escape that situation. So
I can identify with that.
I don't think
Who I am
men
as a
want to do
person.
counseling. I don't think men want to do.
You know what? This is what I really feel like is wrong too. And I'm not gonna say that women don't do it because, you know, our gender, we are confused. A lot of women today are confused, and they're too old to be confused. Let's be honest.
Right.
They want all these things, and then when they get it, they don't know what to do with it.
Right,
Because
right.
they didn't really know what they wanted.
Right.
So, but.
That was good. I missed that though. I didn't know all that. I would have posted that on my Instagram.
What
No,
was
it's
it?
the truth.
What was, say it again?
A lot of women, they always talk about what they want. And then when they get it, they don't know what to do with it because they
Right,
really
right.
didn't know what they want. They
Right.
just saying, I want this, I want that, I want that. And then when you get it,
Ladies, pay
when you're
attention.
speaking things out into the universe like that and it returns to you, you have to use it. You have to do
Right,
something
right,
with it.
right,
You
right.
can't just ask for these things. You're disrespectful to God, first of all.
Right, right.
You're praying for all, I want a good man, I want this job. Then you get it, you find a reason to complain about that. So you're not happy. It's something with you. You have to
Right.
find a way to be comfortable and accept what you have because everybody gets a turn. Now it's your turn. What are you going to do with your turn?
Right.
They do nothing with it. So, but what you going back to what you said, there is an emotional bank account. And a lot of men and women make more withdrawals than deposits.
Right.
Can we all agree? Let's talk about that.
Right.
You said a lot of men. You said a lot of men or women. A lot of
Men and women,
people. Okay.
when they get into a relationship, they're forgetting about the small stuff.
I agree.
You understand?
No, I
So-
was a victim of that.
Right. So communication is
the biggest
a
thing.
big part of it, but it's small. You understand? Because depending on what your preference is, a lot of women want a man today. These women today, forget it. These women in their 50s, they want Fendi bags.
Yeah.
They don't want a man that has a good job and come from a good background and who's loyal.
Right.
I think
They want a man to buy them a mink coat and pocketbooks because that's what their preference is. That's what they're looking for. If you want a good man, you're not going to find a good man going to, what's those things that they do when they have the basketball? Because I'm ignorant to all that stuff. You know, when they have the basketball games out there in North Carolina. And
Nah, I'm not.
they're running out there, these women today, because they are out of touch with reality. Nobody is paying attention to, if tomorrow never comes, who can say they live in today?
Absolutely.
So you running around chasing a man because his name is ringing a bell in the street. So what does that say about you? That's making you somebody? So you want to say, oh, I was dating Rashawn. Okay, so what? What does that mean?
Right.
And then because you flaunting, you know, you have all the designer, you're a label holder. You have all the designer clothes, all the labels and everything. But that's all you have, then that's sad. Because even for me, but I don't do that. I have a lot of like designer things because I like that. But I also have things that makes no sense.
Right.
I mix it around.
Right.
But at the end of the day, my life is not based on the next man, who's the highest, who has the best, who's driving a Maserati, you know, all that stupid
But
materialistic.
Demo's always been into that, though.
My point. So because the reason why I brought that into this is because I had a conversation with someone the other day, and she says, I invite you, and whoever sees this, they're going to be mad at me because they're going to say, I invite you to certain things and you never come. People do not respect change, and that is why I don't have a problem with losing friends.
Right.
Because you were not my friend in the first place. My thing is this,
The microphone. Don't speak to the microphone.
I was never a street runner.
Right.
That's one. I was never in every event. You will not see me in these
Right.
pictures because that's not something that I was doing.
Yeah, me either. I was never.
And I don't want people to know me, and I don't want to know everybody.
Right.
I'm going to be that person that people say, Camilla, I heard of her, or whatever, but because that's what's going on.
Right.
I don't want to be known. I don't care about being known. I want God to be pleased with me when it's on Judgment Day. I don't care about nobody else.
Some people want attention, so social media is a way for people to get attention. They're
Yeah.
all
Yes.
over the.
And that's
And
the
you
thing.
put
I
your
don't.
relationship
If you
on-
notice, we're friends on social media. I don't post anything.
I'm not on social media
Well,
for that
you
reason.
posting doesn't mean that. I'm talking about your business.
No. Yeah, that's all I do.
When people, first and foremost, when people took social media, they made it
To another level.
Yeah, they took it to another level.
No, we talked about that, and I told you.
It's just sickening to me
Yeah.
that everybody now is living the life of luxury. Everybody now has
It's lying.
Yeah,
Everybody's lying.
Everybody's not
Everybody's
who they're supposed to be. They're posting this, but they're not really that. So my thing is this: I know you in real life. At the end of the day, and two, you're posting, oh yeah, this mother effer got to get out my house, and then I see you later on with the same other effer. So you look stupid, not the person you're talking about. You actually look stupid.
But I think
I'm
it's
just
more
turned
important
off.
for them to have likes because now you have an audience, and when you have an audience and people like you, you feel relevant in this world. And
That's
some people
disgusting.
are dealing with that.
If people need for somebody to click like on their picture and on their comment to feel relevant, then they have a problem.
That's
Yeah, but that's what it is. Social media is about the likes and relevant. You stay relevant. You can stay relevant in social media, but when you're outside, you're nobody. But when you're inside
point.
no, but when you're behind closed doors, you feel like you're somebody.
I mean, they call them influencers for a reason, right? People say, I want to strive to be an influencer. Like, it's important for you to influence other
What do you mean?
people.
Oh, like when you see on the, oh, that's
Think
what
about
that means?
word.
Yeah, so I might influence this, and then once I become an influencer, there's people who's gonna want to do what I do. They're gonna listen.
Absolutely not.
No,
I
you're
bypass
right.
all that stupidness.
No, but there's people out there that would say, you know what, Cammy, she likes headphones. Oh yeah, so now people gonna follow you and follow these headphones. That you know, these headphones are set because Cammy you an influencer.
You know what?
If Cammy like it, I'ma like it.
That's ridiculous. That is
And it
ridiculous.
determines the amount of followers you have will determine if you're an influencer or not. You might actually begin to make money
okay.
from that. Yeah,
On Facebook?
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Facebook is the devil. I believe it's social is the devil when it
Social media is, but see,
in relationships.
I do
It
post.
becomes
I love to post a picture sometimes, but the thing is, I always post me sitting at a desk.
Right.
You always see me at work.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. Let's talk about that. Every picture that she at a desk. Hold on.
It's the truth. All you need to know is I have a job.
Yeah, yeah.
Or I'm on my way to work.
This is Cammy. Pull up.
That's it.
This is Cammy picture right here. This is how she.
And that's how I sit, yup.
Every picture.
Every picture, I'm sitting at my desk, or I'm driving to work, or from the supermarket.
Nah,
That is it.
I don't see the supermarket pictures.
No, because I'm sitting in the car and parked.
And I don't know
And I listen
why.
to the music.
Out of here, I have to run back to Queens.
Okay, so don't tell me you leaving my show. I'll let you know.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you know when you leaving my show.
Okay.
It's you're a hostage on my show. Don't just bluntly. I gotta go.
I'm here.
No. This heifer over here.
Because Pam said I'm out.
Listen.
Where you gotta go? You just said you're not married no more. She's
comedy show.
Isn't she divorced?
I'm divorced, but I'm.
Where the fuck she's going? She ain't going to her husband. And this is another episode. I want to thank my sister, big sister Pammy, for coming out, and I also want to thank my hood street sister. I love her just as much.
Boo, 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 boo.
Pammy. Anything you want to say before you leave?
I'm not going nowhere.
Okay. What about you?
I'm good over here.
When y'all getting out my studio, I can tell you that. Peace.
Bye.